A sure way to keep close friends and vampires away. Hi, I'm Roofe and welcome to Get Gardening. In this edition we're looking at garlic, looking at how to plant it and how to get the best from it. It's not far off the shortest day, and traditionally that's the time that garlic should be in the ground by, because there's still warmth in the soil and it means that the cloves can get their roots down, they can get on a bit of top growth before the winter hits, and they will give us a crop next year. Now remember, it's not something we'll be harvesting until maybe June, July or August of next summer into autumn, so it's quite a long-term crop. But for me there is nothing better than growing your own garlic. And come in here, because it all starts like this. It all starts with cultivated bulbs, which we will have purchased from the garden centre or nursery. Now I know what you'll be thinking, oh, why can't we use what's in the vegetable tray in the kitchen, you know, or sitting in the bowl or the cup on the worktop? Well, garlic you buy from a supermarket or a farm shop or any sort of food outlet is going to be a variety which is not really suitable for growing in British climates. It's going to be one that is specifically bred for either growing on the Isle of Wight, where lots of garlic comes from, where it's particularly warm, or growing in the Mediterranean, where it's very, very hot and dry. This bulb has been cultivated to be suitable for UK growing, for the sort of winters and the sort of summers that we get. And for 3 bulbs that we've got here, one here has been broken up a little bit, that will cost you about £3 for something like that. And you know you're getting bulbs which will give us lots and lots of bulbs again later in the season. But we have to split this up first, and we have to divide these cloves off, and you'll see what's happening here. And all I'm doing is just pulling the cloves off, and don't be worried, the fact that that's shooting, that's not a bad thing. Oh, that one's gone. Grab that. We'll just forget that. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. I'm not doing all that again. You can guarantee they're going to jump. So we're going to break these up, and it's amazing how many cloves you will get from this one bulb. Now, the amazing thing for me still, after all these years of gardening, is that these individual cloves will turn into large bulbs like that. The important thing is that we put them in as soon as we can, so by the middle of December, end of December at the latest, and we put them into, if we put them outside, into a soil which is relatively free draining. Now I know what you're thinking, why is he putting them into trays? Well, I've always done my garlic like this. You know, you can put them straight out, and if you've got a soil which drains well and it's a nice sunny spot, they can go out, that's fine. But I always like to start mine off into trays, into cells, and I've just got a mix in here of John-Innes seed compost with a little bit of vermiculite in there, just to open the mix up, just to give it some air. And I will then keep these just in a cool greenhouse just for a few weeks, just until they've got some shoots on them and they've filled the cells with roots, and then I will plant them out. Now the reason that I do that primarily is because that's the way that I've done it, that's the way Dad's done it, and it's a bit of tradition. But also I find it helps because I do have some free-range chickens and some free-range ducks in the garden, and they do tend to like all the new shoots on things and tend to pull them out. So if I can start these off, get a root system on them and get them planted quite well in, just with a tiny bit of shoot showing, they've got a lot more grip in the soil, and usually my ducks and my chickens won't have a go at them. And also if your soil's heavy as well, and you can grow garlic on heavier soils, it's not an issue, but it's all about getting that root system established and getting them, you know, nice sort of well rooted and healthy cloves before they go out. So now we're going to plant these in the cells, and it just is a case of getting your finger and pushing these in. Look, kind of a closer look. There we are. And all we're doing is just making sure they're nicely nestled in these cells, just to get them away. There we are, just like so. And then I will put these, after I've watered them, into a cool greenhouse just for a couple of weeks, and it's amazing how much growth they'll put on. And then, particularly because the ground is still so warm and the weather at the moment is, well, quite mild for the time of year. It's amazing what these will do. And I find it gets me much better plants in the end, and I get much better bulbs later next year. Now the important thing is with garlic is it does need cold. That's an important thing. So it really needs at least 21 days of temperatures below 5 degrees. So cold weather is really important because that causes the actual clove to split internally and then to actually form a big bulb with individual cloves. If not, this clove will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. We'd just end up with one massive clove at the end of next summer, and it wouldn't be much use to us. So that cold is really, really important. And providing they've got full sun and a free draining soil when they're out in the garden, they will be absolutely fine. Don't water them too much. Keep them on the dry side. If you water a couple of times a week, that will be fine. They will very easily rot if you're not careful. You can also try different varieties. I grow 3 or 4 varieties just because of the different times that they crop, but in terms of the actual flavour, I can never find a lot of difference between them, to be quite honest. And also, elephant garlic is one that people really like growing. Really quite large bulbs, mild flavour compared to lots of other garlic. So if you don't like these strong, intense flavours, then elephant garlic is milder. And even that's a sure way of keeping friends and vampires at bay. I'm Ian Roofe, and welcome to Get Gardening. Which will give it. No longer one take roof.